I now hereby officially call the 2020 annual business meeting to order. The first order of business will be the presentation of the Secretary Treasurer's report. I will hand the microphone over now to Secretary Treasurer Emily Kale.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, Neurodiagnostic Healthcare Heroes. I would like to dispense with the reading of the minutes from the 2019 annual business meeting and tentatively approve as provided. We will table the formal approval until the in-person meeting in 2021. Moving on to our membership enrollment. Since we convened a year ago, ASET has continued to make steady and upward progress. The Society ended the 2019 membership year with 6,973 members, which is a 5.64% increase in member enrollment compared to the 2018 membership year. As of July 31st, 2020, total member enrollment, new and renewed, is up 8.72% over the same month in 2019. This is a net gain of 512 members. And moving on to our statement of financial position, ASET's fiscal year runs from January 1st through December 31st. An independent audit of the Society's books is conducted every 3 years. A financial review by a CPA is undertaken in the off years. ASET engaged D. Boardman CPA, LLC, a certified public accountant and auditing firm, to perform a review of the Society's financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2019. I'm very pleased to report that the independent accountant's conclusion was that there were no material modifications that should be made to the financial statements in order for them to be in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States. As referenced on this slide, for the 7th year in a row, ASET crossed the $1 million threshold in revenue. The Society ended 2019 with total liabilities and net assets of $1,420,388 compared to $1,143,108 for the fiscal year ended in 2018. The Society had revenues in excess of expenses in the amount of $169,251, thereby increasing the Society's total net assets at the end of last year to $1,029,267. This completes my report.
Thank you, Emily. The next order of business is a report from the ASET Foundation. I am happy to introduce Dr. Mark Ryland, Chair of the ASET Foundation Board of Directors.
Thank you, Connie. The ASET Foundation is the philanthropic arm of ASET, operating solely on the kindness of your donations. These donations have enabled the following grants and scholarships to be awarded for this year. The ASET Tuition Grant Awards. The ASET Foundation received 8 tuition grant applications and were all provided awards for a total of $5,000 to the students enrolled in neurodiagnostic programs across the nation. The Archibald Scholarship Award. Established in 1996 in memory of John Archibald, the award is given annually to assist students attending the ASET Annual Conference. The award consists of a waiver for the conference registration fee, as well as a cash for travel purposes. Since there were no travel purposes this year, the foundation was able to provide scholarships for the following 3 individuals. The winners of the 2020 John Archibald Scholarship are Stephanie Ahrens from Crozier Chester Medical Center, Chris Bennick Romeo from La Brea College, and Renee Basallo from the Institute of Health Sciences. To support the scholarships and grants, please consider donating to the ASET back to the office. Please contact myself, Faye McNull, or Kevin Helm for assistance.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome new staff members. We welcome our new staff members, Darla Hall, Membership Manager, Kevin Helm, Executive Director, and Aman Alalu, Marketing Manager. The pursuit of licensure is a key initiative for ASET, as noted in critical end number 1 of the strategic plan. ASET recently granted its first state licensure grant to the California chapter, which is on track to introduce state legislation in early 2021. We are working with other chapters and state groups to help them pursue similar initiatives. Scope of practice. ASET expanded the scope of practice for neurodiagnostics technology to include additional modalities of practice that fall under the neurodiagnostics umbrella of services, as well as additional educational offerings by many NDT programs, such as add-on course tracks in intraoperative neurophysiologic monitoring and nerve conduction studies. Definition of a qualified neurodiagnostics technologist. ASET continues to invest significant resources in educational offerings to grow a qualified workforce. To that end, the ASET Board of Trustees approved a statement defining qualified neurodiagnostic technologists to identify and support the attributes that promote patient safety and professional competence. We encourage you to share this and other ASET Board of Trustee position statements with your staff, managers, leadership, and risk management departments, and we are here to help with any staff development needs you may have. College credit for credentials. ASET is encouraging an education and career ladder with online courses in EEG, Evoke Potential, long-term monitoring, intraoperative neural monitoring, and nerve conduction studies to advance individuals and/or groups. These courses will help you confidently prepare for board examinations, and after you successfully pass your registry exam, you can go on to earn a degree. There are currently 9 colleges that accept neurodiagnostic credentials for college credit with associate, bachelor, and master degree options. LTM Analyst Course. ASET has developed an advanced practice LTM Analyst course that will be launched in the late fall. This training will provide essential training for preparation of the new ABRET NA-CLTM credential. CPT coding changes. At ASET, we are committed to helping our members navigate the changing healthcare landscape. As many know, CMS implemented coding changes related to long-term EEG monitoring effective January 1, 2020. ASET has offered educational webinars and developed free resources for all technologists to help them understand these changes and impact that they have on patient care. Coding resources are available on the ASET website under the Resources tab. We continue to monitor changes that affect neurodiagnostic technologists. Our website serves as a resource to stay abreast of changes. COVID-19 resources. COVID-19 resources were developed and made available on the ASET website, including a free webinar on COVID-19 implications in neurodiagnostic testing and a town hall update with panelists on safe practices for resuming neurodiagnostic services amid a pandemic. Additionally, we have been involved in a work group representing ASET, NAEC, AES, ACNS, and AAN, which resulted in a joint position statement for use by epilepsy centers as a resource for the safe reopening of epilepsy monitoring units. This collaborative effort has continued, and we look forward to partnerships like these, which help ASET better serve our members. Volunteering. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself, and I can't see the rest of it. In service to others, Mahatma Gandhi. Very little of the accomplishments that I just reviewed could have happened without the hard work, creativity, knowledge, and dedication of our members who have volunteered to serve on ASET's committees, task forces, and special projects. I would like to now recognize those chairs whose terms have been completed. Brian Markley, Nominations Committee. Meredith Milton, CEU Committee. Cheryl Plummer, Neurodiagnostic Awareness and Patient Advocacy Task Force. Cynthia Swick, Historical Advisory Committee. And Ricky Rager, Awards Committee. I thank all of you for your service to ASET. A photo of the current Board of Trustees. Between the annual business meeting of the Society, the property, business, and affairs of ASET are directed by its Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees is responsible for the study and execution of short and long-term range plans for the continued growth and financial stability of ASET, the development of policies, and the assessment of the needs of the membership. It has been my distinct honor and pleasure to serve with such a dedicated group of leaders and stewards of the Society. I'd like to list the members of the current Board of Trustees. Outgoing Board of Trustees. I'd like to acknowledge Brian Adkins, Donald Trey King, and Cynthia Swick, who have just completed their terms of trustees of 3 years. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Susan Agostini, who is our immediate past president. I wish we were in person so she could receive the round of applause of which she is so deserving. Susan has been a dedicated Board of Trustee member from 2012 to 2014, President-elect from 2015 to 2016, President from 2017 to 2018, and immediate past president from 2019 to 2020. Her commitment to ASET has been a benefit to us all, and she will be missed, but I am sure she will remain involved as her passion for ASET and our profession truly runs deep. Thank you, Susan. We appreciate all you do for ASET. To all of our volunteers, we recognize and express our deepest gratitude for the service, commitment, and stewardship you have demonstrated on behalf of the Society and to the profession. Installation of new trustees. Anna Marie Beck, Anna Maria Costina, Eric Padilla, and Casey Sargent were recently elected to the Board of Trustees. Although they were sworn in during our Board of Trustees meeting on August 15, I will ceremonially share the oath of office. The oath of office is not one to be taken lightly as a trustee, as the trustees uphold the mission, vision, and values of the Society on behalf of our members. While it is a volunteer position, the dedication and energy given are commendable, and we look forward to working with the entire board to continue to move the Society forward. The trustees' oath of office. My fellow members, you have been elected by the membership of the Society to serve on the Board of Trustees for a period of 3 years. You are responsible for defining our strategic vision and establishing policy, ensuring that our programs and services support our mission, appointing and/or endorsing committee chairs, filling any vacancy on the Board of Trustees or in any office of the Society, and exercising such authority as to ensure that the goals of the Society are accomplished. You are required to exercise ordinary and reasonable care in the performance of your duties, exhibiting honesty and good faith. The duty of care includes the duty to protect confidential Society information. The duty of loyalty requires you to pursue the best interests of the Society rather than your own interests or those of some other individual or entity. The duty of obedience requires you to act consistently with the Society's mission and purposes and its articles of incorporation, bylaws, and other policies and procedures. During the board meeting, all new members accepted this responsibility. Please help me to welcome our new trustees. List of the new Board of Trustees. Call for new business. As announced in the advance notices of this annual business meeting, the board solicited resolutions, motions, or questions in advance of this virtual meeting. We received several comments which are addressed by the Board of Trustees. These items are now posted on the membership-only business meeting page accessed via the virtual meeting page on the ASET website. One question of note was regarding the ASET strategic plan. ASET creates or updates their strategic plan every 3 years and will be doing so in March 2020. A copy of the current plan has been made available on this page. At this time, I would like to hand the microphone over to Jennifer Montgomery, who will give us an update on ASET's governmental affairs. Jennifer?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Connie, for your introduction. I'm Jennifer Montgomery. I am the Director of Operations and Government Affairs for ASET. And I just wanted to give you all a brief update on what we're working on in government affairs. And we've had several questions about licensure, so I'm going to address that as well. As Connie referenced earlier, ASET still supports licensure as one of its primary public policy goals. This decision was made several years ago, and as a result, the organization has put in place several solid building blocks to help us achieve this goal. One of those being, as I said, adding licensure to our strategic plan that includes the pursuit of licensing for neurodiagnostic technologists at the state level. Also, ASET formed licensing committees in states where we thought there was a pretty good shot of getting licensure passed. These states all include Texas and Ohio and several others as well, and we continue to educate them and help them move forward in this public policy goal. Additionally, ASET has crafted model legislation to help in the pursuit of licensure, so state chapters and licensure committees basically don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have a bill in place that states can tailor to their specific needs. And lastly, ASET has established a grant program to help underwrite the cost of pursuing licensure. It's not an inexpensive undertaking. As you can probably imagine, there are costs for hiring a lobbyist, which is something you really need to do if you're going to get licensure passed in your state. So the organization does have a licensure grant program to assist qualified chapters and licensure committees in pursuing this public policy goal. And when we talk about licensure, there's a couple primary benefits that we have in mind that we think licensure, why it makes good sense for our profession. And one of those benefits is the fact that it can improve quality and protect the public against incompetent or dangerous practitioners. This is a particularly strong argument considering the fact that unprepared or practitioners who are not well qualified can potentially inflict harm to patients. So that is a significant situation we're trying to avoid, and licensure can help build against that outcome. Licensure is also beneficial when consumers can't readily assess provider quality beforehand. Patients don't necessarily know who's qualified and who is not in terms of licensure. So having licensure for the profession helps ensure that those practitioners, when they come in the room, are well qualified to perform the services. And also, practitioners may want to become licensed as part of a move toward greater professionalism for neurodiagnostic technologists. Lawmakers put a lot of weight on licensure. They are impressed when healthcare occupations are licensed. It makes a difference to them. So, you know, we want our folks to be perceived as well qualified in terms of what the lawmakers see as well. So going back to the grant program that ASET has enacted for licensure, we are really excited to announce that we've awarded our first licensure grant to the California chapter. They are getting in place to introduce a bill in the state legislature early next year. And so ASET's Governmental Advocacy Committee is working hard to support the chapter with any resources that they need. That includes crafting letters to go to lawmakers, that includes talking points, and serving as a resource to the chapter to help them get that bill across the finish line. And, you know, as they move forward in their efforts, they are actually laying the groundwork for other states to follow. So again, we congratulate the California chapter and we're very excited for them. So in terms of licensure and regulation of occupations, you can see on this particular slide that the information suggests that the public is in support of regulation of occupations when it's done properly. 74% of voters say that licensure ensures qualified professionals are serving the public. 69% of voters say licensure sets safety standards across the industry. 66% of voters say licensure helps keep the public safe, and 58% of voters say that licensure protects the best interests of the public. So we do have some good public perception numbers on our side when it comes to licensure, and we think it is the right thing to do. So with any political initiative, you don't start moving towards your goal without looking at the political landscape. And in the case of licensure, there is a national political trend called occupational licensing reform that we're taking a look at. That is a national political trend that analyzes existing occupational permits and processes and just trying to make sure that they're as streamlined as possible and that licensure of professions makes as much sense as possible, considering the growth of occupational licenses over the past several decades. You can see on this slide that back in the 1950s, 5% of occupations were licensed, and now 25% of occupations are licensed. So lawmakers are just trying to make sure that they don't go overboard on regulating occupations. But since we are in healthcare, that makes a bit of a difference, and they do treat healthcare professions a little differently. So in terms of occupational licensing reform, a couple of things I'll point out, and believe it or not, this is actually a bipartisan issue. Republicans and Democrats support the reform of occupational licensing processes, but they support it for different reasons. But it is something that everybody pretty much agrees on, and we will see lawmakers paying attention to this pretty much across the board. And basically, we're seeing it in just about every state now. So all of that being said, I know it sounds that the road to licensure is complicated, but it is an achievable goal with proper messaging and strategy. We're going to continue to pursue licensure in states where the opportunities present themselves. And a couple of parting words I'd like to say to you are, remember, you're the best advocate for the profession. If you all don't get out there and advocate for the profession, nobody else is going to do that. And you all have a story to tell, and you're the best ones to get out there and tell that story. So I hope you will stay involved if you're engaged already, and if you're not involved, I hope you will consider getting involved in this effort. Licensure is really important, and like I said, we feel it's the right thing for us to pursue. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. There being no further business or discussion, we will adjourn the 61st 2020 business meeting. I hereby declare the 2020 annual business meeting of ASET, the Neurodiagnostic Society, adjourned. I hope everyone enjoyed the virtual conference. Please save the date for ASET 2021 Annual Conference, August 19 to 21 in sunny San Diego. Hope to see you there. Thank you for coming. Till next year. Bye.